that I get with is going to know that I love her unconditionally, that I'm there for her. If she has kids, I am there for her kids. Her kids are no longer step kids. They are my kids as well. Mm-hmm. Ain't no, oh, well, we are blended. No, fuck that blended family. Fuck that step kids. Fuck that. No, those are my kids just as well as my kids are yours. And if you can't get with that, then we can't be together. Mm-hmm. I'm sorry. That's my definition of love. And the thing is, I cannot love you and a lot of people, and the thing is, a lot of people are like, oh, well, you're religious. No, I'm spiritual. Mm-hmm. Because religion has way too many negative contraindications on it. Mm-hmm. I'm spiritual. So if I can go to God and I love God the way that I'm supposed to, I'm going to be able to love her the way she needs to be loved, the way she's supposed to be loved, the way that God intended for me to love her. Because if I don't have that love in me, I cannot adequately love her. Mm-hmm. That's me.
Okay. So wait, was I supposed to answer this question?
Oh, yes, ma'am. I'm sorry. You're going to have to answer this question because you just literally put me on first shift when you did that question for me. Mm-hmm. So, same question, Keisha. Come on with it.
I don't know.
Nah, man. You're often say, really? See, she plays too much, y'all. She plays way too much.
So, I'm going to have to take this in a different direction. I'm out of breath already. Okay. Y'all just don't know. I'm out of shape. Okay. So, anytime I'm about to talk, I get tired. So, for me, I feel like we have a habit of defining things, because in order to wrap our mind around something, we have to be able to define it. And in defining a lot of things, I feel like we make things much smaller, and then I don't even know how to say that. Like, I feel like love isn't something that can be really defined. Does that make sense? Because
it makes sense.
It's more than just a word. It's more than just a feeling. And I feel like that's personally my biggest downfall in my past relationships, because I was like, once that feeling was gone, okay, I'm done with this relationship. There's, like, I don't think there's anything left. And so I feel like it can't be defined. It's a series of actions you have to fight for. You have, it's something that you just have to want with that person. I mean, it's more so a connection, but it's not something that I feel like words would fail to describe what love truly is. So it's like it was us putting a definition to something that can't be defined. Mm-hmm. Okay, that's my answer.
So that's your answer.
Yes.
Okay.
I feel like yes.
So with that being said, do you? And this is something that I've seen so many different times. I've heard so many. Do you truly believe? Do you think that you can be in love with two people at once?
Okay. I'm the wrong person for this. I do. I'm gonna say this.
Wow.
Wait. Okay.
Yeah, you're gonna have to explain that one to me.
Okay. No. Okay. I feel like you can love people at the same time.
But my question is, can you be in love? Because loving a person and being in love with somebody are two different things.
And it's hard for me because I've been in certain situations where that was the case. Okay. Say that for another day.
We are going to say that for another podcast, guys.
So I feel like, and I'm gonna say this because now I feel like I need to bring that up, but I'm not. So sometimes some people have different things that you need. I'm not saying to go cheat, but I'm saying because of those different things, like I might be a person that you find comfort in, whereas the next person might be someone that that's more so a nurturer. So you might love both of us like truly, like 100%, and it's it's because we're resonating with different
energies.
Yes, and so it's like different parts of us are resonating with you, and that's why you're drawn to us. So
would that would that necessarily mean that you're in love with that person, or it would just be that
infatuated?
Would you be infatuated with that person? Would that just be lust? Would that just be you have a strong connection with these two people,
and maybe that's the thing. When people are like you can. you're really confusing that connection.
Yeah.
So, and really, I guess that goes back to, and you know, this is a good point too. I used to be like, yeah, you can. But at the same time, I'm really just feeling, I feel like I just learned what love is. Like, literally, just learned, like, within the last year. So, it's like, you asking the old Keisha would be like, yeah, you can. But then it's like, now it's like, okay. Did you hear my stomach?
Mm-hmm.
I'm hungry. Anyways, so.
You want your food?
Because I ate it. But, so I guess really it's about knowing what love truly is. So if you don't really know what love is.
See, and the thing is, that's what goes back to my first show, that self-love. Because the thing is, if you can not truly know how to love a person if you don't truly know how to love yourself.
I heard I don't know who said it, but they were like, you cannot, okay, like say somebody is like lashing out at you. At the end of the day, a person cannot meet you no deeper than they've already met themselves. So at the end of the day, if I don't know how to love myself, I can't love you.
Yeah.
And I think that was a big problem of mine. And instead of focusing on the inner work, I focused on other projects, which were other people. Right. I knew how to love other people. But then I couldn't love myself properly, so it's like I was really in abusive relationships. Not necessarily physical, because I've never been in anything physically abusive. But you know, like it was tearing me down.
Abusive relationship can be anything.
Yes, like verbal abuse, like things like that. Like, oh my gosh,
do you want this food or not?
I don't hold on.
But this is the thing, and this is the thing that me and my homegirl had to talk about, was that sometimes we can love a person to the point where we are draining our own self-love from ourselves to give to them. And by the time that we've given this person all of the love that we have inside of us and all the energy, we are so damn drained and beat down. But the thing is, who the hell is pouring into us?
And that's the thing. If you don't pour into yourself, how can you give to others? And that's the thing. That's why I had to learn about being a mama. Sometimes you have to realize that it's okay to take time for yourself. Because if you don't make sure that you're straight, you're not going to be operating at 100%. So that's like, if I'm not happy or I don't love myself fully, how can I do a good job at loving you and making you happy? Because I'm not 100%. Right. So, and if it's draining me, then that sounds like this not balanced. So something's wrong with that picture.
No. So then the thing is, when it comes down to a relationship, there has to be some type of a balance. And the thing is, you can't give so much of yourself to that other person in this relationship, because you will lose yourself. And the thing is, that whole song that Eve made, "Love is Blind." Love can be blind, but the thing is, a lot of times we miss red flags that are sitting smack dab in our face.
Because we want to. And that's the thing. It's like we don't want to see it. We ask for the signs and then we ignore them. Yeah. But that's like, I was on Facebook, and of course Will and Jada pop up. And that's what, they always do. But so he was like, the point where their relationship took a turn for the better was when they realized Will was responsible for making Will happy. And Jada was responsible for making Jada happy. You have to have your own identity outside of that relationship, because if you don't, it's going to go to shit.
And see, and that's where, I asked the question back on a previous show that, do you feel like that when you're in a relationship, should you have your own friends or your spouse have their own friends? And, my guest at the time was like, yeah, I feel like we should have those mutual friends, but we should also have those separate friends at the same time, because at the end of the day, we can hang out with these mutual friends all day long. And when shit goes south, these mutual friends are going to try to choose sides.
And I'm going to say something about that, because this is something I always said that it was my goal. If I got into, like say I got married or I'm about to get married, I feel like our mutual friends should be friends that are either that have been married for 20 plus years, 10 plus, friends that can give us advice on where we're trying to be, friends that aren't going to choose sides, friends that are going to call both of us out on what we need to do so that we can fix it.
And the thing is, you don't have too many, you don't even have too many friends like that now that actually sit here and call each other out on the bullshit that they actually put.
You in a relationship, you got nothing but single friends. Now what
what the hell
that's mad that you're happy.
And then the thing is, you have those ones, and I'm gonna be honest with you, and don't take offense when I tell you, you have more women that actually do that shit.
Yeah.
And oh girl, you just need to leave his ass, this, that, and the third. But the thing is,
be right in that inbox.
The reason you're telling me to leave him is because you want him.
Yeah.
That's stupid.
Yeah.
And the thing is,
so then that turns back. That lets you know that's not even your friend.
No, and that's my thing. Like, why are you taking advice from these single ass people and she can't even keep a goddamn man? Mm-hmm. How are you taking advice from a person that don't know how to get or keep a man?
And I was gonna say, I had a woman, like, we were in the classroom, and she was like, "No offense, but you're not married, so I really don't want to ask you." And I was like, "Listen, I'm gonna tell you this. I'm not married, but at the same time, I'm not gonna give you single woman's advice.
I'm not gonna give you a single person's advice."
And whenever we started communicating, she was like, "I was totally wrong about you." I said, "Yes," and don't get me wrong, the average single person probably gonna tell you, "Girl, but but I mean, sometimes you gotta realize if it's worth working for, it's worth working for. I mean, and that's why I think those mutual friends should actually be people that's in relationships that are happy, that's in the game years, so that they can give you the proper advice.
Yep, and the thing is, and this is the thing with my gender, is that I feel like the things that we do to get this woman and get her attention and show her, "Hey, look, I'm trying to shoot my shot." We don't do that shit when they are trying to, when we get in this relationship. You have to do the same thing you did to get her. It's the same thing you're going to have to do to keep her. You can't, you're going to wine and dine her and take her here every now and then, and you're going to buy her this every day. And then when you get her, you ain't taking her no damn well, I need you to cook every day, and you're not bringing her stuff. That's stupid.
That's how my ex-fiance was.
That's stupid as hell.
So we were talking, and I was like, food is the way to my heart. Oh, so he was like, "Don't worry about it. You don't ever have to cook. I'm a cook." Okay. So he went later on down the line. He went complaining to my mom, like, "She don't be cooking." She's like, "Oh, don't get me wrong. Keisha can cook, honey. She can cook.
No, don't.
However, you started that. You don't want to tell her she don't ever have to cook. So what do you think she's expecting? You got her spoiled." I was spoiled. I was spoiled. I'm not even about to lie.
And you know what? And that's what something that you know what? With you saying that reminds me of something my mom told me. It's like, you started that because you made her comfortable enough to know that she didn't have to do that. Mm-hmm. So when you started that, you might as well go ahead and be prepared to keep up with it.
Don't start something that you can't finish. And that's the thing.
That's why consistency is one of the biggest things that is one of my fucking pet peeve. Inconsistent people is one of my pet peeve, my top pet peeves now, because don't get me used to some shit and then later on down the road you decide you want to switch this shit up. No. I'm good on that. Don't get me used to something, then at the end of the day you want to switch that shit up on me. What the fuck?
Yeah.
Why? That's crazy. That's absolutely crazy to me. And the thing is, and don't get me wrong, I've talked to some beautiful women, but they have the most shittiest attitudes and feel like they're entitled to so much shit. And the thing is, how the hell do you think you're this entitled to something and I just met your ass?
Yeah.
Why? How? In what damn alternate universe do you feel like you're entitled to this shit? Like,
and see, I think that goes back to the mom thing. And some of them may have been mothers, but it's like, for me, it's like, the show gonna keep rolling regardless of whatever you're doing. The show is gonna keep rolling, so you need to let me know what you're doing, because I don't have time to sit here and try to figure out what game we playing.
Right.
So it's like, are we going to be a team? Are we going to decide to do this together or not? It's not some, well, this is what I need you to do, da-da-da-da-da, because I'm doing it already.
And the thing is, I think what pisses me off the most with, and like I said, I can only speak from my experience. What pisses me off the most with the women that I've talked to is, oh, well, I'm scared to do this because I'm scared to commit because of what happened here. And what I am not him.
Yeah.
Please stop doing that shit.
Yeah.
And
that's one thing
it.
I've always said is, like, I refuse to fault the next person for something that someone else did. Like, that's not fair to make them deal with something that, you know,